Hello. Lots to talk about today. Economics, well, not economics, that would be really dull and everyone would switch off, but the economy, because we've got lots coming out of the Conservative Party conference and what the Greens are pledging will be their manifestos. We'll get back to that in a minute, but I just need to share with you, I've just had a bit of a wet-eyed moment, having just heard the news about Dame Jilly Cooper, which I am very sad about. Her Chronicles of Rutshire were certainly the narrative to my life growing up in my late teens, early 20s. My dog Badger is named after Rupert Campbell Black's dog Badger. I lost my heart to Rupert Campbell Black and a bit Lysander Hawkley and possibly a tiny bit Billy Lloyd Fox. Jilly's place in my heart is whole. I did an article or did an interview years and years ago in the Daily Express Sunday magazine, I think it was, all about being a children's presenter and stuff. And they asked me who my favourite author was. And I said, Jilly Cooper, hands down. So many people are so snooty and snotty about her. But for me, she brought to life a world that was actually, very multi-layered. She covered absolutely every aspect of love, loss, grief, happiness, joy, self-esteem, self-confidence, self-conflict, everything under the umbrella of a bonkbuster. And I think Jilly's insight into what makes humans human was second to none. But for me, it made me cry. Her insight into the relationship between animals and humans is something that I resonate with. And I'm really deeply sad that we have lost Jilly. I hope she's having a cup of tea with Patricia Routledge. And I hope they are at peace. So, Jilly, thank you. Really, thank you. We have to talk about other stuff, as much as I would like to talk about Jilly all day and could. She wrote me a letter after I did that interview, thanking me for speaking kindly about her books. Dame Jilly Cooper wrote me, a children's BBC presenter, a letter, a card, and sent it to my agent to thank me for talking about her so positively. I couldn't believe it. I literally couldn't get over it. It's one of my most favourite possessions and I will keep it forever and ever. Dame Vera Lynn sent me a letter as well once, and yeah, special place in my heart. So the economy. Mel Stride has come out with the Tory plans for what they would do with the economy, and he's played an absolute blinder. Now, I didn't know which way this was going to go because all we've had is the hot air of Reform and Labour, and the Tories have been sort of in the background, not making any noise and frankly falling flat on their faces. Every time they do make a noise, it's not one that anyone really wants to listen to. They've gone down in popularity and they've been licking their wounds. But what they've done at exactly the right time is astounding. They've shown humility, and I think a lot of people would argue there's a long way to go yet. I think a lot of people would say this is a great starting point, build on it. But what they've done is what the other two can't do. And they've said, we got a lot wrong. We really got a lot wrong. But we are going to put it right. And this is how. And Mel Stride was upfront, open, honest, and unswerving from responsibility, but clearly listening to the electorate, clearly listening to what people have said. And I mean, who's done that in the past 15, 16 months? No one. And it's such a breath of fresh air. And I mean, just to hear somebody going, oh yeah, I get it. I hear you. And mean it, not just be saying it, yes, I want to put more money in working people's pockets, having no clue what a working person's pocket looks like, apart from very holy, bit like my colander. And he's nailed it. But it will come as no surprise that Torsten, my favourite person, has decided that he's going to get on the gravy train on that with his tweet. The Tory plan is to ... undo what the Tories did in government. Reducing civil service headcount back to 2016 levels and saving money spent on housing asylum seekers in hotels, which began under the last Tory government. So Torsten's gone in with I think I'm going to be witty and smart and get one over on them. And the backlash is visceral. And I think where Torsten may have possibly had a few followers and a few people saying, oh, well, yeah, but they were pretty crap. Nothing, literally nothing. They've come out absolutely all guns blazing for who are you to talk to us about the economy, the party who have crashed it, which is widely understood now. I mean, I think that we've even stopped denying it. So we then get a good graphic, which is a really good graphic of what's happened, Labour's inheritance and under Labour's watch. So Labour inherited inflation at 2%, and under Labour's watch, it's 3.6%. It's up 1.3%. Unemployment, Labour inherited at 4.2%, and under their watch, it's 4.7%. So it's up 0.5%. Wage growth, they inherited 5.3%, and it's down 0.3% at 5%. GDP growth, this is one that everyone wangs on about. It was at 0.4%. It's now at minus 0.1%. It's down 0.5%. Our borrowing costs were 4.698%. They're now 5.506%. They're up 0.817%. And our debt was at 95.8% and it's now at 96.4%. And lots of people that I think historically were, Tory haters are now saying, well, hang on a minute, we need to have a look at what happened in the Tories' tenure and what they were dealing with. And because the Tories didn't spend their whole time saying it was their fault, a lot of people forget what the Tories inherited from the Labour government and the debt that they inherited and what they had to do. And year by year over the 10 years that they were in power, whether we liked everything else they did, I'd say we didn't. But, one thing that is indisputable is that they did reduce our debt. They did it. And then they had COVID. And that sort of slightly changed things. And let's remember that it was the Labour Party that voted for us to be in lockdown for longer. They wanted to extend it. It was the Tories that wanted us out of it. And of course, lockdown just killed the economy. So it was the Labour Party that wanted that to carry on for longer. And the effects of that would have been even more economic doom. But the Tories were the ones that were saying, no, come on, we've got to get going. Now, nobody dealt with COVID well. The Conservative Party didn't deal with it well. The Labour Party didn't deal with it well. The Lib Dems didn't deal with it well. And we didn't deal with it well. And the reason is that it was this phenomena that none of us knew what it was, where it came from, where it was going. And we all cocked it up in some way, shape or form. Some way more than others. And I think that is indisputable. I don't think we could ever look back at any of the behaviour of the politicians with anything other than you absolute. But we learn, we move, and we have to move because we're in such a hole at the minute that unless we move, we are never going to get out of it. And our Great Britain is looking less and less great by the day. So it's really interesting to see that Mel Stride has, and I don't know that he realised he'd done this quite as much as he has, but certainly social media is welcoming that honest change in rhetoric, that honest change in, we really did not get so much right. And this is what we're going to do because you've told us we were wrong. And that goes a long way. And I realise people are going to be watching this and screaming at it, and this will divide us a little bit. And that's okay, we're allowed to do that. But I don't think we can argue with the numbers anymore, can we? I don't think we can argue that we are in the doldrums and anything has got to be better than this. Other than the Lib Dems policy on landlords, that's a whole new video coming next.